Wake up! Wake up, wake up, wake up! Up you wake, up you wake, up you wake, up you wake! This is Mr. Senior Love Daddy, your voice of choice. The world's only 12-hour strong man on the air. And that's the truth.
Welcome to Bennington.
I don't know where I'm going from here, but I promise I won't bore you.
I want you to take your hand out of that bowl of Fritos, throw away your National Enquirer, and pick up the phone. Go ahead, pick it up. Talk radio. It's the last neighborhood in town. People just don't talk to each other anymore.
You would be very lucky if in your whole life you saw the work of one genius.
The form of the tragic autobiography is dead. Goodbye, written word. So I have chosen this form, radio, to author my life.
Hashtag Bennington.
This is Mr. Senior Love Daddy doing the nasty to your ears to the nasty. Eyes only play the platters that matter, the matters they platter. And that's the truth.
The biggest band that never was. The Replacements are our house band this morning. Welcome to Bennington. I'm Ron Bennington. With me, as always, is Gail Bennington. No relation.
Hello.
Good morning, everybody. Wake up, wake up, wake up. How you doing this morning, man?
I'm awake, man. I'm awake.
Just a little bit awake, though.
Just a little bit awake. But I'm getting there. Replacements helped.
What helped? Replacements? It's one of those... I remember when I started in radio, my first partner, that exact song, he was like, oh, God, I love that song. And I go, why aren't we playing it? He goes, no, it's not really a radio song. It didn't really test good. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. That's an exact radio song.
It's a perfect radio song. And,
there's an entire generation of kids who are like, I love 80s music, but they don't play that because it wasn't on MTV. Exactly. What they mean to say is, I love that my parents listened to MTV.
Yeah. MTV raised a generation, I think, perhaps.
They did. And, they're still on here, really. All the VJs.
I know. I think that's so great.
All right. So it's 866-766-0339. 866-766-0339. Even though I realize it's way too early in the morning to jump on the... Well, you know that you don't do morning radio when you sit around and talk about it being early all the time.
I'm sure somebody who does 5 days a week morning radio doesn't start the show every time like, it's really early.
Every once in a while they do, though. Every once in a while you just be like, this is nuts. Be up so early. It's always funny, like, if you have on the Today Show and, like, some... movie stars on there just going, ooh, it's early. And the Today Show people are like, yep, every morning. You can see, like, that's their worst thing.
It's the last thing they want to talk about.
Yeah, every single morning. God, you guys get up early, huh? It's always weird, too, with that band that should have been bigger. Who else for you? Who's a band that should have been gigantic? And that does not mean like, oh, this is a band that I love.
Right.
So they should have been huge. But a band that
right.
in your heart should have been gigantic.
The first one that comes to mind for me is the Vaselines.
Vaselines, because what's his name was in love with them, right?
Yeah, and that's, I think, how people got turned on to them is because of Kurt. Kurt turned a lot of people on to things.
Replacements were also a band. Like, when he first started, he was like, well, I don't care. As long as we sell as much as the Replacements, I think that would be cool. And the record company had to say something like, they sold 30 albums, so we don't want to be like the Replacements.
That is not a good bar to set.
We want to be bigger, like Pearl Jam is. Who's bigger than you?
But the Vaselines, I feel, should be a band that today should be brought up all the time.
They did the show before. The Vaseline. Right? Yeah, they came in and they actually said something like, if we would have known that the stuff would have, hung around this long, we would have worked harder on it. Right. They're like, sometimes we look at our lyrics and we're like, I don't know. I don't know why we didn't just try to fix that one.
Well, I don't know. They've got a great simplicity, but it's very, very good. It's just very simple, very good.
It's actually a very good point that simple has to be part of it if you want to be a really good pop band. it's got to be singable. It's got to be something the kids like, like little kids.
Right.
Like a little kid should get up and start dancing to your band if you want to be really popular.
Well, it's funny because I always think it's great how punk rock is like for kids. Like it's the edgy music, but for some reason, like very young children always gravitate to it. So like a poppy punk song is just like the most perfect union.
This is the best children's band of all time, and this is no way an insult, but Green Day, every kid loves Green Day, and it's like the perfect opening to them liking music.
Yeah. My little cousin loves Green Day and it listens to them at his age, and I was his age when I was listening to Green Day.
Right.
So they've just maintained the kid band.
The only difference is they have more of that than anything else. You know what I mean? Like he's got all the albums.
Yeah.
Chris in Indiana. Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, good morning, Biggins. Wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the Replacements. I was a student at IU back in the mid to late 80s, and I remember a couple of times when they were playing the college circuit, and they play like at the student union, and just like the cafeteria in the student union. It was just really weird how they were, the greatest band. It's just like you said, Ronnie, they're the greatest band that never really made it.
And there's no reason for it. There's no...
I know.
Well, there's a couple of reasons. They were on a smaller label at first, and by the time they got on the bigger label, and at least half the show, they were so drunk that, they couldn't perform properly.
Yeah, I was going to say that's got to be a big part of it, because they were big drinkers, and I feel like they set the bar low for themselves. They were kind of... Do
you think that could even be like, I am a little afraid of this, so we'll blame it on our drinking?
Definitely. I think that's got to be a huge part to do with like the fear of success.
Chris, how were they when you saw them?
Oh, they were awesome, but you're absolutely right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, between Westerberg and Chris Mars, they're dynamic in their own way, but I think you're right about how they get so trashed. They may be some sort of like a closet introvert, and that was kind of their way of pulling themselves out of it. And it was just...
You know what's funny, though? Like, they did a Saturday Night Live that you could probably put against any band that ever did Saturday Night Live. I mean, they were just amazing on it.
And didn't they get banned for it?
Well, not for what they did on stage, what they did off stage. They were, wiping shit all over the dressing room walls, just being punk rock babies.
I guess I can't really remember that performance. I don't know if I've ever seen it, but I thought that it was like... that they were like a mess during the performance, but
no, they were amazing. The funny thing, though, is that they, I believe the gimmick was that they changed clothes with each other in between songs, so that if you were watching, you just saw them wearing each other's songs the next time out. Here's Brian in Charlotte. Go ahead, buddy.
Good morning. Thanks for waking me up with the Replacements. I haven't thought about them in forever, but now I have something I can listen to all day. And I'll tell you, going to Minneapolis a lot, Paul Westerberg is like a patron saint of music at First Avenue, especially in those small rock clubs in Minneapolis. They are still pretty well respected as being the godfathers of Minneapolis.
Yeah,
rock.
and I mean, but the point of this is like they should be that everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they were really a great American rock and roll band. They really, really were. And to not be remembered that way, or not be even known by people, is always interesting. One that I guess came back from that bit was the Pixies, where nobody kind of got them the first time.
Yeah.
But by the time they came back, gigantic.
Yeah, exactly. That was something people kind of caught on to late. And then at least they had some good tours after that where they got to kind of enjoy maybe some of that success. But during their actual...
Yeah, during the time that they were making those songs, no, they were just pretty much ignored. And then years later, when they were like middle-aged, everybody's like, you guys were great. It was almost like the children of the people that should have been listening to them appreciated them, which is rare. A band that we played 2 weeks ago. The Kinks should have been much bigger.
Huge. That should be a band that you list alongside of the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, the Kinks. You should definitely say
And then the
that.
Replacements. It should be the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, the Kinks, the Replacements.
I agree.
But yeah, the Kinks are not thought of that same way, which is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. You know, the Who, when you're out here in the fields, you know, if I even started singing that, there'll be a huge crowd of people who will just come out and be all excited. You know, is someone playing the Who?
The Kinks deserve that.
They're not going to get it. It's not going to happen for the Kinks. And they're another band that they fought with each other on stage, and it should have been bigger, but I don't know. Life isn't fair.
It's not. That's true.
Life isn't fair. I think we learned that from Malcolm in the Middle. If there's anything that Malcolm in the Middle can teach us, A, it's hard to be the middle child.
And also how to make meth, right? That was that show?
No, well, that was later. That was not really, he was the same character who played it.
Right, that was a spin-off.
Yeah, it was a spinoff of that he broke up with Malcolm's mom and he started to make meth. You know, there was a story just the other day, and I guess it happened on a podcast where the creator of that who said, stop going to Walter White's house and throwing pizzas on the roof. Seriously, guys. You know, and he's just like on this podcast, look, I know it's not you guys doing it. You know, it's like some Breaking Bad podcast he's on. I know it's not you guys. And like Mike was in there with him, and you just hear this, if I catch anyone doing it, I'll hunt them down. I'm like, you're not your character, old man, okay? Like, you're really scary as your character, but in real life, most people would probably be able to beat you up, only because of your advanced age. If I see them doing it.
I think a lot of guys who get tough guy roles,
Yeah.
I think they probably take on that persona.
Yeah, like John Wayne probably thought he could beat people up. And then there's this.
Do you even know how many people I've beaten up before? I can't even count.
And I kiss girls really, really fast. There's this really great thing of like this video of Elvis like flipping the guys in the band while they're all wearing their like white belts, judo white belts or some shit. And you know, he decided to show up in Memphis one day and put on a demonstration for people. And he's just beating up his friends and they're all like, that was good, Elvis. And he's like, yeah, man. Looks like I got this thing down pretty good. You know what I mean? Because these guys would just count the lights anytime he wanted. Another banana, peanut butter and a banana, Elvis? Yeah, I think I will.
You earned it after all that fighting.
Did you see that? I chucked Red across the room, man. Red didn't even know it was coming. I guess I just grew out of judo on him. Red! Charlie Halls, you get in here. Stop for a little karate judo. He was just making shit up himself. Now I'm going to stop you with my beam eyes. Laser beam eyes.
That's good, Elvis.
Let me guess. I'm going to guess what you're thinking right now.
All right.
Are you thinking about Elvis? You thinking about the King?
You got it.
Bam. That was good, E. That was really good.
Money buys you a lot of yes men.
It does. I'd love to just be running around with them and just saying yeah to stuff.
Got a bunch of friends who.
That's funny, E. That's a good joke. Then he gets around regular people and no one's laughing. That was a tough crowd. It was, E. Tony.
Hey, Ronnie, all those rockumentaries that are punk and everything else, they always talk about the Stooges, and I have no idea. I couldn't name one Stooges song, but they seem to have been like one of the pioneers of
Yes,
rock.
it's Iggy Pop. You're familiar with Iggy Pop, right?
Sure.
That's his band that he grew up with. And it's one of those things, they were all kids together. You know, he came in one day with this photographer, and this photographer had done all these pictures of the Stooges like back in the early days, right? And I'm looking this book over, and I'm like, these pictures are better than most rock and roll bands. They just look so rock and roll, and they didn't have shit going for them. It was just perfect, though. But yeah, another one of those things when you're early on You know, no one knows who Richard Hell is. You know what I mean? No one knows who Television is. But then they're all like, oh, yeah, I know Talking Heads and Blondie. And all the bands that came later. Here's Mark. Mark in New Jersey.
Hey, man, I saw Tommy Stinson from The Replacements play a house party last weekend.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's the younger brother, right?
Yeah, the bass player. He was brilliant. It was
Isn't
great.
he playing too? Doesn't he play with Axl too now or something?
Yeah, I heard he gets like an amazing amount of money just to be on standby for Axl.
Yeah.
But yeah,
him and Bumblefoot are just sitting there. That's right, E. They have to call Axl E now too. Axl comes in and starts giving him karate judo. Nobody knows how to deal with him. I think the karate judo is making you a little uncomfortable today. 866-766-0339. It's hashtag Bennington, so a lot of people are writing to us on there. You know, I look around at some of the folks and I'm like, you are... Wait a minute, did I say that they wore each other's songs instead of they wore each other's clothes?
I didn't hear you.
You did, yeah.
Thank you, E.
They could have worn each other's songs too. But
hey, I've got an idea. Let's wear each other's songs. But how, Paul?
You put my song on.
I'm leaving. I made it
No. Myself. He was doing so good with that.
I was doing good with that.
And you called him out on that. That wasn't right.
No, it had to happen. It's good that it did. He was doing so good with that. That's actually from something that I won't forget from when I was a little kid at Easter. I'm like 5 or 6, and at Easter we got to put the Easter eggs on the table as we ate our ham. So I was all happy. Then I'm like, damn, finally a hard-boiled egg. We're eating like we're in an Irish bar. This is wonderful. So I'm like... I would like put a little salt on my Easter egg and then bite it. Put a little salt on my Easter egg, and I reached over and picked up milk and poured it all over the Easter egg and then myself. And everybody in my family ran. So I got up and they were all laughing at me. So I got up and ran and dove face first into the pillow. Remember, like right onto the couch. Remember how like you would be so upset that you would just run and throw yourself either on your bed or your couch. So I was just diving into it. I was crying, and my mom was like, "Oh, that's a shame because he was doing so good with that. You know the way he was putting his salt on his egg."
That's one of my favorite stories, and I say that constantly anytime anyone messes up.
And you were never there for it. It was before, yeah.
It's just a story I love, but I feel like I was there. I love that story.
But I could still feel the embarrassing pain, and it hurt so much that I actually felt like I saw like my brother and sister's faces laughing and moving clockwise around me as a ha ha ha. And I was doing so good with it. I was putting salt on an egg and eating it. Like my mom was acting like I had just fallen off my first bike ride or something. I never even thought you'd get to the point where he put salt on an egg and be able to bite it. And he was doing so good.
Only a mother can see that as a success in a child. Like mothers will say things about kids where like, he's doing great. He just took out the trash and he made his own bed. Yeah. He made his own bed. Well, he's 30, so he probably should.
He made a friend at unemployment. And, you know, he's doing fantastic. Oh, he's doing so good. That's his cap teeth. But speaking of which, this is like the most annoying thing in the world. Here's your chicken soup that your mom was just trying to hand me no matter what I was doing this morning.
Well, she knows that I have a cough. That's why I keep turning away every time I laugh, because it's going to get gross.
I actually, no matter what I'm doing, I'm going around and get my wallet and stuff, and I would just say, there's a chicken soup, just like being pushed up to my face, like, here. And I'm like, I got to get the things I need first, and then I'll carry your precious chicken soup in. So, yeah. Oh, God, don't start coughing.
Oh, no. Just try not to be funny today.
Well, that won't be a problem. That won't be a problem at all.
I'm going to eat this later, and it's going to heal me.
Here's Russ in Illinois.
Hey, good morning, y'all.
Yeah.
Good morning.
First, Gail, you have a great laugh, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Who's got a bad one? Oh, the nanny. The nanny has a bad laugh. That's pretty good.
They have a great legs. Anyway, one of the bands that I thought should have made a bigger hit, a bigger splash, so to speak, would be Mr. Mister. They only had a couple of hits.
Yeah, I thought they got too big. I thought they got bigger than they should have. If I'm going to pick a band that said their name twice, I would have picked Talk Talk to be bigger. They never got big enough, in my opinion. You know what's really funny, too?
MR.
There's something always really funny about 80s music is like you always know an 80s pop song, right? The second you hear it, but you have no idea who it is. You're like, you won't. And people go, you know who did this song? You're always like, Soft Cell, I think? I think it's Soft Cell, Kachagugu.
Well, that's funny always when people say that they like 80s music.
Yeah.
Like, I love 80s music. I don't know any of the bands, though, but I love it.
And people, what song is this? I think that's the Thompson Twins. Because I know that's one of the names that gets thrown in. You don't know specific pop bands from that era.
Yeah, there was a lot of one-hit wonders.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, I don't know why.
But it's weird to be a one-hit wonder and sound like every other one-hit wonder. Like one band should have had 12 number one hits there. Instead of everyone sounding the same.
Right.
Or is that just decade prejudiced?
No, think about the 70s had a lot of diversity, and it's popular music.
Yeah, solid sound.
I think the 80s just had one
There's a sound to it.
It's a great sound.
If you leave me now.
It's very dear to me.
It is?
Yeah.
You love the 80s?
Well, no, 80s pop music just reminds me of being really little. I mean, I think everybody probably has that feeling about the pop music when they were very, very young.
It's the weird thing about the 80s is people liked bad music and they liked bad movies. And now, like, even little kids were like, I like the 80s bad movies and bad music. Like, people just like it. Like, you know, when, like, any John Hughes movies, young people still like. You're like, really?
Yeah, I mean, I guess to me, they're kind of nostalgic because I saw them when I was very young. But anyone who's younger than me, I don't know why they would have that connection.
It's a really good point. I think people felt nostalgic even when they saw it the first time. I think you could have been an adult sitting there watching a John Hughes movie and go, oh, this takes me back to this morning when I got a ticket for this. There's something really weird about it. Let's go over to Justin. Justin.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
A band that I felt never really blew up but was pretty poppy and punky was the Get Up Kids. They were extremely pop-centric, and they had hits in the indie scene, but just never really took off.
I will agree
for whatever
with that.
reason.
The Get Up Kids.
Yeah.
And Piebald, another band from Boston. They're like very Weezer-ish and like, late 90s, early
First of all, there's never been a better way to describe something than Weezer-ish. We're kind of Weezer-ish, I think, our band. All right. Gunnar writes in about the guy who said Mr. Mister not making it big, and Gunnar says, it's a shame about Mr. Mister. They were doing so good with that. And then Hard Rock Johnny says, hashtag Bennington, putting salt on eggs for years. Someone just wrote, I wear songs while I jerk off. I'm not sure whether I thought it said clothes. I really did to this day.
I feel like I would have noticed it. I guess I didn't.
Yeah.
Maybe you said songs. I'm going to trust them.
I don't know. Why should we trust them? We should trust ourselves.
Well, there's no way to know. There's no way to prove it. So,
Jeff.
Hey, Ryan.
Yeah.
I always struggle about lumping music in decades, especially when you're talking like the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Because really, if you look at like from 1970 to about 1975, the music was almost completely different than from about 75 to 85. It just,
well, first of all, if you really look at it, the early 70s music was still the 60s music. I'd say to like 73. You just got there for the death rattle of it all, you know?
Right,
and I think that's what happened to the Replacements.
At least I'm here for that.
Yeah. Because you take the Replacements, and they didn't hit, but they were, you know, they were on the cover of Rolling Stone, and you don't take... You know, a band with just like one little hit is not going to make the cover of Rolling Stone. And we did this together. So that's what I'm saying. What was you were bringing up a gimmick to me the other day about artists and youth. You said it to me on the phone.
I was saying that I feel like, you know, there's this formula that we all buy into that, you know, the early stuff is the best stuff with most bands.
Mm-hmm.
And even with writers, directors, well, maybe writers less so, but, you know, a lot of artists, you're thinking, oh yeah, their early work was the great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And is that actually true? And if so, why do you think that that's true? Do you think that that's just made up? Do we all just say, "Oh yeah, the first album's good," or "First two albums were great, but then they started to turn"? Or
I have this theory that if you go to see a band, any band, their set list is going to be at least 80 to 90% the first four albums.
Yeah.
It's going to be, that's what people show up to see.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you could say it, so you're saying, do people peak? Do the artists peak early?
Do they actually peak? Do you think that is true?
I think the audience peaks early.
Right.
I think the audience's passion for whatever they're listening to has a lot to do more when they were young.
Well, that makes a lot more sense. Like their first impression of this band is what they liked. That's what drew them to, you know, start listening to this band. But then when they go on a journey and change and have, you know, experimenting with different sounds or whatever, they're like, no, I showed up for this very specific reason. And now...
You mean the audience?
Yeah.
The audience shows up for nostalgia.
Yeah.
The audience is all about, I want to feel like I did in 11th grade or my junior year of college, whatever that thing was.
But I feel like that makes sense for pop music, right? I mean, pop music is like the music of young people. And so like an aging pop artist, I mean, they just seem to age out of the genre, but it's weird that it happens with all genres. Like,
are you saying Mozart's best stuff was his early work?
Perhaps people sat around and said,
but even now, I mean, now we would be better apt to understand that. Like if you look at the Doors, right, which you and I don't have any nostalgia other than the first time we heard the band, right? Those last two albums are as good as anything that they've ever done.
Right.
You know, Morrison Hotel.
We're still talking about somebody who died at 27, though. I mean, it's like...
Yeah, but on their sixth or seventh album.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying because they put out albums faster then. But I think it has to do more with... I didn't even know that first Doors album came out in 66. I thought that was a 67 album. Because I know that, the whole Summer of Love, they had that song.
Yeah.
I'm looking over this thing A-Train put together. A-Train put together an incredibly fast list for us. But it's not true of actors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's true. You wouldn't say that an actor's... Or, no, does anyone say that? But I feel like most actors, especially male actors, they like... glorified that are older, you know, like, oh, they really age into something really interesting.
Yeah.
Older female actors, like, don't get as many roles, so who's to say?
They just go away somewhere. They marry producers and go away where we don't have to look at them age. Could you go age in the other room, please? Thank you.
Everyone really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because they remember being attracted to you and they don't want to feel weird about...
I liked you better as a little girl. Oh.
You peaked at 16
Yeah.
in looks.
Yeah. You peaked when I couldn't touch you.
But, okay, what about for writers? I mean, do you think that writers, their early work is often their best work when they're young?
Harper Lee.
Well, yeah, her one and only.
Do you know the whole thing about her putting up out another book?
I just heard that.
And there's a thing on the iBank today that they think it's elder abuse. They think somebody is getting her to put out a book that she never, spent 50 years ago. Now that's not something I want to do.
And they feel that she's being pushed into it.
Just confused into it.
Oh.
Yeah. So
That's making me really sad.
Well, that's why we wish she would have aged out on her own.
In her own natural way.
Yeah, where we couldn't see her. And then I just like it when she writes about Chipperos. Busting up a Chippero. But I think actors and writers go through a period where it's like their golden period, too. You know what I mean? Like if someone said to me, I want to see 4 Jack Nicholson movies, I guarantee you, and what should I say? I'd pick something like between 69 and 75 for him.
Yeah,
boom.
That's true.
They're all there, dude. Same with Al Pacino. Same with Robert De Niro.
But don't you think in most things, and maybe it just doesn't apply to art always, that you grow, you learn more? It's like it almost goes against the grain of everything else that you, the way you think about it in life.
But there is one field, they say a mathematician, right? All your breakthrough is like if you're 19 or 20. So it's why they're always looking for genius mathematicians that are kids. And then after that, it's all downhill for them.
Really? That's
Yeah.
really interesting.
I think a lot of it has to do with they don't have any expectations of how the universe works. And then the other thing is, your brain cells start to,
Yeah.
you throw your brain cells around like they're confetti. That's
I
what say
wonder
to
also
rockers.
if any of that has to do with just like youthful wonderment and curiosity as well.
That's it. Like the universe, I'll be the guy that can think of something. And then, by the time you're 30, you're like, math blows. Why was I doing math? I should have been chasing women and drink and song. How about you were bringing up your nephew and everyone tries to help him and the whole family with his math homework. It'll get like on an email chain. In 5th grade, the rest of the family can't figure it out.
I can't help you. I've been sent questions before, and I was like, couldn't do it then, can't do it now.
I wrote back, M isn't even a number, so how are you going to find that? That's impossible. You get a letter right in the middle of your math, you idiot. You copied it down wrong.
Well, there's your problem.
James.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that when we first hear a band, it sounds great. We like it. But the more we hear them, if they don't change, if they're not dynamic, it wears out faster.
You think if they don't change,
they have to make the change?
Like U2 was able to change and make it work. Some will like it, don't like it, but they change. There was never the same thing for 20 years.
See, I was kind of thinking it was the opposite. I feel like people get upset when an artist grows a lot of times.
A lot of times it's grown for no reason, though. That's the thing. Like, if there's an organic growth, but the whole thing, and U2's a perfect example, where like, let's break this thing and, start over. I'm normally like, I don't know, dude. I don't think you're doing that for any other reason except for that you're comparing yourself to Bowie and the Beatles.
But I guess most people don't think that a band ages. I just feel like that's the consensus for most bands.
That they don't grow.
They don't grow in a positive way. And if they change, it's for the worse. They don't age like a fine wine.
If any band changes, I just call them Selloutica, no matter what band it is. That band was funny that people got mad at them for cutting their hair. Like, you're like, what? Look at them. And then I thought,
Caroline No situation going on.
But the funny thing is, why would 4 dudes decide to cut their hair?
That is really silly, actually.
Like if we all sat around and going, you know what? As a show, we ought to do something about our hair. You know what I'm saying, A-Train? It would be strange. I think the band should start dressing alike and sing "Come On, Eileen." I will give you this example though. I go to shows now where I'm still the youngest person there. I will go to shows and basically be the kid. That's the way any show I go to. I'm either way older or way younger. But I see musicianship improve. And later on the Ron and Fez show, I'm doing an interview with Richie Furay, who started, was in Buffalo Springfield. That band was together for 2 years and went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And then after that, he started Poco. And he put out an album. And he's 70 years old. And it sounds like this is 1970 in it. His voice is like a kid's voice. And the songs are really good. I mean, seriously, and I'm saying that as somebody who's like, I've never been like, oh, I followed him through everything. I haven't. Steve Leeds said, here, Richie Furay's coming by, listen to this and see if you want to do an interview with him. And I'm listening to it. I'm like, I feel like this is a forgotten album. You know what I mean? It's that good.
Right.
And he's 70, and he's been like a minister and stuff. Like he went out and raised a family and stuff.
That's what makes sense to me. It seems like, especially if you think about a musician, you've got to get better at your craft if you've been playing for a long time. It only makes sense. And songwriting, it seems like that you should get better at writing a song the older you get and the more experience.
See, that I don't know. I don't know if you get better writing a song. I do believe you can learn your craft more.
Yeah.
But do you learn your inspiration more? That I don't know.
Because that's not something learned anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to me that it is. I mean, songwriting, and I'm sure I'll be talking to Richie about this because I'm fascinated to talk to songwriters. And I haven't met one who knows how to write a song. I haven't met one who says,
"Here could tell you a formula that
here's the way you write a song." Most of them do something. They give me some metaphor, a personal metaphor of magic. You know what I mean? Like the song showed up.
Right.
I could actually easily take the interviews that I've done here and put out a book of people not being able to tell you how to write a song.
Yeah, I've definitely heard a lot of the interviews you've done where somebody is saying like that they just feel like they've tapped into some sort of wavelength, but they don't feel like they can take credit for it because
they feel like they can a lot of them will bring up, I can start and hear the song in my head and then I write it down. Like they're listening to a song that's showing up and they're like, this is pretty good. You know?
Well, have you ever had a dream where you're dreaming a song that doesn't exist and then you wake up and you're like, well, I guess I wrote that song then. That must have just wrote
See,
it.
I don't get that. I don't get that at all. I've never had a song show up in my head.
Really? I feel like that's happened to me a few times where there's a song in my dream that I have never heard before. And I'm like,
but you can write it. You have written songs, you have that thing. But you know what? One of the things that got me like really curious about creativity, right, is that I was at my club when I had a comedy club, and I was doing crowd work, right? Mm-hmm. And I was doing it was one of those nights you're just on, and like I said something, and the whole audience was like laughing, and I'm like, yeah, man, that was, like while they're laughing, I had this thought of that was fast, man. How did I do that fast? And I was like, I can't. I just wrote, like 2 sentences in 2 seconds. I can't write that fast.
Right.
Something, you know what I mean? Like that was that zone thing, where I used it for whatever hack wit instead of songwriting. But I think it's the way songwriters feel.
Well, don't you feel like you have gotten better, honed your craft? Don't you feel...
I think I'm a better broadcaster, but I don't know whether I was saying I'm funnier than I was a kid hanging on the street corner. I don't know if anybody could be that funny. It was me and my friends were.
So you feel like that is the same, or at least...
I think I'm still chasing the same Jones
of
standing on the street corner. Now, whether it's better or worse, this isn't the type of art that can be even measured that way. Most of what we do here could only be a moment-to-moment thing. We're building sandcastles. It's not like you're writing a song that could last forever.
Well, what about your interviews? Don't you feel like you're definitely a better interviewer?
I wonder if that's more craft than inspiration, though.
You think so?
I don't know.
Well, because, yes, there's a craft to it, but it's also just being a good conversationalist.
I'm sorry, what? I wasn't paying attention. Well, I will say this, though. There is, let's say, the fact of when you bring craft into it. You have to have craft to be a songwriter. You know what I mean? If you brought up the thing, maybe a melody has shown up to me before, but I have no idea what to do with it. You know what I mean? Maybe I've heard in my head, ba, 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 and I'm just like, ba, 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 and then it's gone. You know what I mean? I make a left-hand turn where somebody else has to be able to go, oh, I know what to do with this.
Yeah.
And then we bring it back for the second time. That's real craft, and you have to be able to do that. In the same way, I always compare it with surfing, is like the inspiration is probably the wave, right? Mm-hmm. But you better know how to surf that wave. You know what I mean? Yeah. You better know how to catch the wave and surf it. And then that's the only way for the rest of us to be able to measure maybe even that we see a big wave. You know what I mean? Like, hey, someone's riding that.
Yeah, that's true. And also, if I think about writing, I think that's a really great example because I think a lot of people have an idea that writing is just simply like, oh, if I just could just sit down and write this. They forget that there's a craft to writing, that it's not just like thoughts on paper. I had a professor in college who was a really great playwright, and she said, something that drove her nuts is like she would meet someone at a party and she would tell them that they're a playwright and they're like, yeah, I just wish I had the time just to sit. As though that's all it took, is just the fact that she had so much free time on her hands. She's able to write great plays, as opposed to actually being a good writer.
Well, you also have to be able to have scotch and pour yourself to scotch. And I need a cabin. I think they've completely lied to us in movies about writing, and we all believe, you get a cabin, pour yourself some scotch, and then just let yourself go.
Chain smoke. And it's got to be a waste paper basket full of, thrown out paper.
Only in the early part of it, and then you really hit it finally.
Even if I was writing on a computer, I would still crumple up paper and throw it away.
Just throw your keyboard.
This is garbage.
This is crap. I'm not bringing them truth. That's what they need.
Can you get me a new keyboard?
Anthony in Staten Island.
I think by rule, I think a lot of bands that are really good at writing music in their early ages, like Metallica, the Eagles, a couple other bands, even like Pete Townsend, they somehow lose the ability as they get older to write good songs.
But let me play with this gimmick for you a little bit. I wonder if you would have taken some of those later songs and put them earlier, would people have liked them better? You know what I mean? Donald Fagen from Steely Dan had done a solo album. He came in to talk about it. I listened to it, and I'm like, if this came out in 77, it would be a gigantic hit with the same people who are going to either not hear this or hear it once and not hold on to it. You bring up the Eagles. I'm going to play some the Richie Furay stuff later. You could hear the Eagles doing him. Like, he sounds like Glenn Frey ended up singing. That's his, he brought that. So I'm telling you, that shit is out there, but we don't embrace it the same way as when we were kids.
Can you think of any artists that you feel like definitely improved with age, where you're like, no, this band or this artist is definitely better in their later years than their younger years?
The reality of it is, by the time you get to a lot of people's first album, they've been doing this for 8-9 years.
Right.
So if they would have put out 5 albums before then, you would have said that stuff's shit. Like, you can go back and find people like Rod Stewart who did stuff years. David Bowie did many things years before he was big. Boss Skaggs was around for like 10 or 12 years before his first big hit album. So the examples are already there, but we think, oh, once you're together in a band, it's already done.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, this is where you started. But I don't, we talked about Green Day. I guarantee you there's none of those guys' first bands.
Mm-hmm. They've all been working at it.
Yeah. And I'll give you this art form. There's not a comedian who's doesn't take 10 years minimum before they find their voice. Even guys that get big earlier.
Yeah, I know that's something that's definitely said to
Constantly.
comics all the time, and I can't imagine how disheartening that is for like a young person who, 10 years seems like a vast amount of time.
It is a vast. It's like being a doctor. You know what I mean? It's like when you're a doctor, you're like, you're not going to really be good at operating hearts for like 10 years. Trust me on this. You're like, but I really want to do it now.
You're going to make a lot of mistakes.
I don't care. I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to have patients die on me. I'm going to just keep right on going. Yeah, I think, comedy is the perfect thing to show that you need some maturity, I mean, it's hard to value a 22-year-old's opinion on life,
That's absolutely true.
Even when they're really funny.
And when you're young, it's hard not to be affected by the people that you admire. I think most young comics, you can kind of tell right away, okay, they're doing this person, and then eventually they tend to, any good comic figures out their own thing, and they sound completely different.
But they sound like the person that they were supposed to be in the first place before they tried to do it.
Yeah.
They sound like the way that they always sounded in their heads.
Which is funny. That's like adulthood too. Like, if I probably had a conversation with myself 10 years ago, I would feel like you're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about.
See, when I was talking to you 10 years ago, I was trying to tell you that. You wouldn't listen to me. I was saying those exact words. And then you just ran out crying and dove into the couch face first.
I was doing so good with that.
Still, I wish I had another opportunity. If I had a time machine, I would go back and just try to slap that milk out of my hand. No! He poured milk all over himself at the table. I think I was wearing like a little Easter suit. Why would that make you laugh? Why wouldn't that make you feel bad?
No, it's great. What do you think? It was like a little short suit, like a little John?
Yeah, I would only wear that if my father was assassinated in Dallas, and then I would salute.
Oh,
see, everyone still loves him. They buried him in that suit.
They couldn't have.
Well, then it was then his pants were just too short. TL, North Carolina.
Hey,
yeah.
Hey, happy Friday. How you doing?
Well, it's Friday the 13th, so it's not that happy.
That's all right. Hey, you brought up a good point, but about songwriting getting better. But the Beatles got a little bit better if they hooked up with Dylan writing songs, because their early songs was a bunch of bubblegum stuff. Still good.
Those songs are fucking great, man.
Yeah.
There's very few bands that have written a song as good as She Loves You.
I know.
I mean, its stuff is amazing.
Their poppy stuff is great.
It's unbelievable. Oh, yeah. I mean, that stuff is amazing. Yeah, and I don't know if they learned anything from Dylan. I think it's kind of hard to learn from your peers, right? Maybe they got pushed by Dylan, but
influenced, but
not the way that you're influenced to. Somebody's just. I did this thing with an Unmasked a long time ago with Jay Moore, and he said that the Beatles came from nowhere, that they weren't influenced by anybody. I'm like, what?
No.
Everybody influenced them.
Yeah.
They did cover songs. That's the weird thing there is like the Stones' first album was like all cover songs. Like they didn't even know you were supposed to write songs. And then like, hey guys, you'll get more money if you write songs. And then like, oh, write them. Okay. How do you write them? They weren't even sure.
Everyone's influenced by someone. Everyone. That's
everybody in the club getting tipsy.
Everybody. Even them.
Even the Beatles. The Beagles. That's bug
that's
music.
how a genre is born, is really like splicing two other genres together and it creates something else.
Like I did with rockabilly. No one ever brings that up, but I got that kicked off.
Yeah, I mean, you were the pioneer, really.
Well, people made fun of me because it's a silly title, but I still think Bebop-A-Luba is about as good as it gets.
And you were responsible for bringing swing back in the 90s as well.
I did bring it back because I thought it would be fun to do in like LA clubs that young dude bros could go into and start dancing.
Yeah. Wear their chain wallets and their two-tone shoes.
Have fun with it, fellas. You know, music is supposed to be fun. Hey, Wes, PA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it comes to, I'm actually a singer and guitar player in a band, and when it comes to writing,
I got multiple radio shows, so everybody's doing good here. Okay.
On a substantially smaller level, I've noticed that if a musician starts writing something and it really catches on with the group, like Metallica, for example, their first couple albums were amazing, and when everybody started to say that they were in sort of a decline, it could have been them trying to recapture something, from when they were younger.
You just said they tried to recapture the Rapture.
Recapture what they had, like trying to recreate the Black Album or, Injustice for All.
Well, see, that's a really kind of an interesting point, because I think that happens with everybody where you get compared to yourself. So people come out and go, oh, that movie I saw, that's my fourth favorite Wes Anderson movie. Because like this year, everybody went crazy over the Wes Anderson movie.
Yeah.
And it's nowhere near my favorite, not because it's not a good movie.
Yeah.
It's because I will never be shocked by Wes Anderson again.
It might actually be my least favorite, and I still really enjoyed it.
Each movie that comes out is your least favorite. It starts, the first movie is your first, then goes down.
Well, maybe that is true.
It is true.
Maybe that's true. Yeah, that could be true. Wait, what came before this one? No, that's not true. Because the two kids, what's that one called?
Franny and Zooey.
No, can't be that.
The one with the two children, it's Moonlight Kingdom.
Moonlight Kingdom. I'll move that one above Darjeeling Limited.
I know, we were kidding.
Oh,
when we said that whole thing.
I thought you were being serious.
No, this is your milk on the egg.
I was doing so good with this conversation.
You were doing good. And then you just went like this. Wait, I'm sorry. What were we talking about? This happened yesterday. The fucking Shelby. So for some reason, we were like picking small basketball teams that we would hope would win it all, and in the March Madness. So we're going like Villanova and Fairleigh Dickinson and Gonzaga and all that, and then we get to Shelby and he's sitting at the computer and he just goes like this, Kentucky, and we're like, oh, you mean the undefeated team that won last year? He goes, they are good, and we're just like, you don't even listen to the conversation that goes on.
To be fair, that's me with most conversations with sports. I'm just trying to keep my head above water.
I'm gonna pull this back though that Shelby did. So Fez had a lovely day yesterday.
I know. He seemed like he was having a great time.
And then he looks up and Shelby had put a meme up of him crying, which, by the way, I haven't seen yet. I totally missed it. And it was like right at the end of the show, and Fez was still raging about it 12 hours later. Still furious that Shelby would put up this mean meme, which made me laugh.
He was doing so good with that show.
He was doing so good with it, and then Shelby was the milk that went on his hard-boiled egg. Let's
it's
break.
easy to mistake that with
Yeah.
assault.
Let's break here. We'll be right back. Anything you want to talk about when we get back?
Yeah, I think I've got some things we could discuss.
Is it the thing that you always go back to? How the Jews tried to ruin Germany and somebody had to step
That is
in?
not what I'm going to talk about.
What's it going to be about?
You want me to tell you now? What about movie soundtracks?
Who's the best movie soundtracks?
Yeah,
All
best
right.
movie soundtracks. Let's go for that.
Hashtag Bennington if you like to rate us on the tweeter. I think they call it tweeter. I'm not sure.
I think that's right.
And then our phone number is 866-766-0339. It is Bennington.
You're listening to Bennington on Opie Radio, XM 103, Sirius 206.
Replacements, the house band for today's Bennington show. If there was ever a song that I fell in love with first listen, it was that song. You know?
It's a perfect song.
It's a perfect song, and his voice is perfectly where you need to share that kind of heartbreak.
And that song, if there's any evidence that band should be bigger, you could just listen to that song alone.
Yeah. That song may be, and I don't want to, blow things out of proportion. That song is probably the best song any human being on planet Earth has ever sung and written.
There it is. That's the fact.
That's it.
That's the fact.
People in China would agree. Like, there's probably people, if you played that in China, people in China are like, wait, what's that song?
What is that?
Unsatisfied too. Just people coming from all over the world. We are unsatisfied. Wherever they come from, just marching over.
It's going to unite
hills. Yeah.
That's why this needs to be a bigger band. It's going to bring us all
you know
together.
What? I can't push
You know what? You can't even try to clock the genre on that song. It's just like you can't really place it.
Human
race is the genre. The human race.
Humanity is my genre.
It's a rock and roll song. It's a punk rock song. It's like the post-punky sound. Like you can hear like kind of REM in his in his voice and his vocals.
That was actually, that was about the same time. And I remember he was asked, "Do you have to be sad to write a sad song?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When did you get so good? Really? That's that fucking good? You? That obvious question?
He was kind of easily impressed with that kid, let's be honest. To begin with, everything. We're going to run out. One of these days, we're going to run out.
I don't see it happening. I don't even mind a repeat. And which I think we've done constantly. All right. A bunch of people have written to the hashtag Bennington since you brought up the soundtrack thing.
Oh,
now,
cool.
Here is a question I'm going to give to you right off the bat.
All right. I'm ready for it.
And don't take this the wrong way. But do you prefer a score by a single composer or somebody going back and just grabbing a bunch of songs?
I feel like there's a place in this world for both. I think that it can be really cool when you have one artist and that artist is writing a parallel kind of thing, or you're just using one artist. But I think there's something great about the soundtrack as just like a really cool mixtape, which is like how I treated them when I was a kid. I had tons of soundtracks because you could learn so many new bands. And
you would say I would prefer a soundtrack at first, and then you would be able to learn
I mean
from that.
there are tons of artists that I learned from soundtracks of, like, I liked the movie, I thought that the movie was cool, or I liked the music, bought the soundtrack, and then like started to discover those bands and their albums.
See, I learned from, I actually went to see a lot of movies because I knew the songs in them.
Right.
So I went the opposite direction.
We met in the middle, though. Hey, you got movies in my music. You got music in my movies.
You're both wrong. So you, like some people are writing in John Williams. That's not a soundtrack, that's a score.
That's a score.
Yeah, and he writes the same song over and over and over and gives it to Spielberg.
Right. A little tweak here and there.
Ba, 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 ba. ba. Here comes Superman and the Star Wars guys. And here comes E.T. and Jurassic Park. It works forever. You can take any of his soundtracks, put them up to those things, and you're just as happy.
Yeah, it scores its own thing, and that's its own conversation. But a soundtrack is.
I'm gonna give you one of each though. A mixtape that is a score. If you take like Simon and Garfunkel in The Graduate,
absolutely.
Amy Mann in a little film called Magnolia.
Right, and those songs weren't written for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So he took an already existing album, or I think it was either that or an album she was about to put out. Just stuck it through his entire.
Well, yeah, because he was listening first. I talked to Cameron Crowe, and Cameron Crowe puts on that music while he's playing. Now, here's the thing about Cameron Crowe. You might not like all of his movies, but you will like all of his soundtracks.
That's true.
Yeah.
Almost Famous has an incredible soundtrack, but so does, some of his other movies.
Yeah, my Sneakers didn't make it. I think it's called My Sneakers Weren't Loved by Everyone, and my dad died.
Oh, yeah, that one. I didn't even see that one. But
Really?
No, I didn't see it.
You would love it just for the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's the only time that I'll watch a movie with the vision down. You know my favorite scene? I mean, exactly what we're talking about. And it's an Asian movie, but it's dubbed, but the music isn't. And then there's one part, you just hear this person say, oh, I'm dissatisfied too. I unsatisfied.
I don't know if that's true.
We all talk it this way.
What's the name of that movie?
I made it up.
You were doing so good with that.
What director? I mean, if we were going to make a short list of directors who
have consistently
perfect soundtracks, you've got to put Cameron Crowe.
Yeah, obviously, Cameron Crowe is. I mean, he was a music guy before he was a movie guy, so his music is always on point.
I mean, just give me some white light, white heat, Iggy Pop. Cameron Crowe makes it. Who else makes it for you?
Well, I mean, it's a little cliche, but you're going to have to. Wes Anderson has always a perfectly.
You don't have to apologize for that being a cliche.
Well,
because I'm going to give you another one that's probably cliche. Mr. Quentin Tarantino.
Again,
perfect.
He knows what he wants. The man knows what he wants.
Here's Bill in Rockland County.
Hey, $1,000,000 Benningtons. How's it going?
Million.
All right.
I would say that Natural Born Killers was one of the best ones I've seen, just as far as matching the music with the scenes and just having such a diversified group of artists. You know, you got Patsy Cline, L7, Nine Inch Nails, Rage Against the Machine. Where else are you going to get that?
You got Patti Smith killing it. Yeah. Then you got Bob Dylan singing the old song, "See the pyramids along the Nile," which is just killer in that.
It's a great soundtrack.
But that movie I can barely watch anymore. When it came out, I thought like, this is great, but it did not hold up for me.
Yeah,
you know?
It didn't hold up for me either. Actually, it's a little hard to stomach, I think.
Can I add one more? Just another idea for a TV show. I always thought the way they implemented music into and throughout the seasons of The Wire was really interesting. Like, you never actually heard really a theme song. It was always in the background, but I thought it was a great mixture of music.
You know, it's interesting you brought that up. TV started doing soundtracks and they didn't, used to.
Yeah. Mad Men always has great music.
I think it was around the time of the 90s when they started to like, hey, let's go out and find some good, let's find some good music. Although Miami Vice, if you ever watch Miami Vice, it's fucking hysterical. They'll just take time off in the middle of the show and like play a song while they drive around Miami. And you're like, how long are we into this shot? 4 or 5 minutes now?
Yeah, Mad Men has been like just killing it with great music. They had they played that cover that Vanilla Fudge does of "Keep Me Hanging On."
Yeah,
and I hadn't heard that.
Oh, it's
before,
great,
and it's insane. And then that had me starting to listen to a little Vanilla Fudge here and there.
Do you know Vanilla Fudge was up here last week?
Really?
Yeah, a week ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm walking down and Steve Leeds goes like this. Ron, have you met Carmine Apiece? And I'm like, isn't life strange?
That's really bizarre.
Yeah. And, it's the weirdest thing to just hear something like that. But yeah, they were up here hanging out and playing.
That's super cool.
But I think that's all. See, a lot of times people complain about music being used in different places, but the fact that you weren't even familiar with that band is cool as shit.
So then it kind of turned me on to them.
Yeah. I mean, how many Chinese people have learned about the Replacements from that movie?
I know, that's kind of incredible.
Here's Jason in Detroit.
Morning, sir, and ma'am. I just want to bring up the Goodfellas. I think the music in that movie is excellent, especially the Rolling Stones.
All right, Martin Scorsese will use the Stones on a constant basis, even the same song.
Yeah.
Over and over.
He's just like, what do you think we should go with? Stones here? Or?
You know what would be perfect for this is the Stones.
I'd like to get him some new records, though. Just turn him on to some stuff.
I think Goodfellas soundtrack is phenomenal.
Yeah, it is great. And no one uses the Stones.
You know what's weird, though? No, I mean, we're giving him credit, but you know who he uses all the time? Robbie Robertson. So Robbie will put, I think, a lot of that music in, although I've never heard it brought up. But you'll see at the end of the movies, Robbie's name pop up.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's because you're in such a damn hurry to leave when the movie comes on. Here's another director that you could take any soundtrack and put it into any of his movies, and I feel like he has, is Woody Allen and his crazy ragtime era jazz that he's used 80 times now.
Yeah, he's got a sound. He's got a thing he's honed into there.
Which, by the way, I think goes back to when he was 13, and he's like, "I'm not going to move on from this.
Yeah.
It's too damn good." You don't think Wes has gone back to the 1966 well too many times? Wes Anderson.
Perhaps he is stuck there. Sure, but it's a great time to be stuck in, and you can't deny that.
Hey, Kenny Allen, you're on the Run and Fez show. I mean, you're on Bennington.
Good morning, Ronnie.
Good morning.
First of all, the John Williams thing. I think if you look at two movies like Catch Me If You Can, you saw that. He tried to change it up a little bit, and it worked really well. That movie with Leo and Tom
Star Wars, here comes E.T. and back to Superman.
That's my childhood. Then I'll skip over the other one. Michael Giacchino is one that has done a lot of scores lately. He did the scores for Lost, which were actually really different, and he's done even like a lot of the Pixar films lately. Up. I don't know if what your thoughts on him are.
Well, I don't see Pixar films really, but
oh, really?
I'm an adult. I guess if I start dating a baby, I will go to those films.
Maybe take her to a movie.
Yeah. Sit through some of her movies for her.
Chick flick.
She likes it.
It's a chick flick.
I'll be like, "Hey, Aunt, you're here on a date too."
You guys have a type?
I think it's the same type everyone has. Braces. Bucktooth braces.
Again, the score, I think that's great, but I think that's a different conversation because you're not going to listen to a score at home.
I do. I'll listen to Midnight Express.
Okay.
And I'll listen to Blade Runner.
Okay.
You know that's a great score.
That's true. Yeah. I didn't know you were, listening to it at home.
You know what I yell out all the time at my house? You Blade Runner! You unsatisfied Blade Runner! You know, they're doing Blade Runner 2, unless he keeps crushing so many planes that they can't do it.
Right.
But they're supposed to do 40 years in between Blade Runners. You never listen to that? Give me the Midnight Express theme. I could listen to this song under any circumstances. Although I'm not even sure if it's a theme. It might be just on the album somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know.
You never saw the film?
No, I have not.
That's because you don't like smuggling. If you just would care a little more about smuggling.
I care.
Let's see. Give us some sound. No, this isn't the one I'm thinking of. The one.
E-Rock might have it.
Let's hear it, E-Rock. What am I?
No
No,
songs
because it's
that
all
I
kind of
know.
weird European shit,
But
right?
it was really cool.
I remember it taking me out of the movie. I think I had just the exact opposite feeling about
I'm
it.
still listening to that soundtrack.
Did Drive never come into like Netflix or? I only saw it in the theater. I never saw it anywhere else.
I don't think it was ever on Netflix.
Well, I'd like.
That's A-Train backing me up 100%.
Oh. That's the truth then.
Look who it is. It's Hard Rock Johnny, the man who owns famous pants.
Hello, boys and girls. Sorry. So to go along with today's theme, artist, I really love the Singles soundtrack, which had a couple of Paul Westerberg.
You know, I just saw Singles the other night, in the middle of the night. I hadn't watched it in years.
I haven't seen it in a very, very long time.
It's so weird. Also Cameron Crowe. But you're just like, you're watching it now and you're like, why are you guys being so hard on yourself? You know, like they're just brutal to themselves. Like, I'm 25 and I haven't figured it out yet, man. You're just like, easy. Easy with your attitude and easy with your acting.
Did you enjoy it? Was it good rewatching it, or is it a good movie?
I felt like I was looking at children. Like even seeing Eddie Vedder, he looked like a child to me. Like it looked like Muppet Babies. But that's a Cameron Crowe movie, and he never makes any mistakes with soundtracks.
Yeah, I mean, it was some amazing. You know, it was kind of that brought on a lot of the grunge scene to the masses at that point because it was the.
Well, I think they ended up
92.
hating him in Seattle for that. They were like, "Oh, you're taking our scene and trying to package it into this little movie."
Make it like
Yeah.
MTV accessible.
Like we felt like when Dane Cook tried to do that TV show here at Sirius XM, and then it never got on, and we were all so disappointed. E-Rock, have you ever seen it?
Yeah, I think I still have 2 episodes at home.
I haven't seen it, and everyone tells me it's like really.
I'll bring it in for you.
Yeah.
It's very on the nose.
Yeah, like somebody was up here. Like one of the bosses is being done exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then I always felt like when I saw the trailer for it and he was wearing the hoodie and stuff, and I'm like, is he doing Ope? Is he doing like an Opie thing? But then you don't want to quite say, like, hey, is someone doing an impression of you? Because no one ever takes it the right way.
You don't want
like,
to start that war.
Well, like when people do impressions to me, it's always like, fire bodies. And you're like, what? I talk that way? They're like, oh, that's exactly you. Fresh.
Anytime anyone repeats something you've said in what they think is your voice, it hurts. It's just like so cruel.
I had a celebrity doing it back at me not too long ago, and I don't want to humble brag who it was, so I'm just going to leave it as a celebrity. But it was like,
Why don't you give us a hint?
it's the most beloved person on the planet. I'll just leave it at that. And when I was talking to him, he was going, yeah, remember we can do that. And he's doing it back at me. And I'm like, this is weird. This feels like a dream. Yeah, man, maybe we'll do that. I'm like, I don't think I talk that way. And this is kind of great and hurtful, like a hurtful, fantastic thing. I'll say this, Johnny does not have his pants up. So we know it's not somebody from the rock genre.
Okay.
Our genre is human.
The human race.
All right, thanks, man. Peace out, Johnny.
Anyways, see ya.
Andy in Boston.
Hey, Ronnie, long-time caller on the Ron and Fez show. My first time on Bennington, man.
Well, welcome. I hope you enjoy it just as much.
Gail, you brighten up my Fridays. How you doing, honey?
Oh, that's so sweet.
Isn't that nice?
That's a nice thing to say to someone.
It's weird though, because you drag my Fridays down. You'll get that in 10 years. You'll know where I'm coming from. Back.
Ronnie, I got two for you. So my first one's obscure. One of the a great movie is a child of the late '80s, Maximum Overdrive. Lots of great AC/DC deep tracks.
Really funny thing that you don't pay attention to the movie, but maybe the soundtrack. And give me another one.
Dazed and Confused. I think it fits the movie big time.
It's so good.
Dazed and Confused uses Tuesday's Gone perfectly. Just as the keg party's ending, that kills. And then they also go in the slow ride at the end of it, which is pretty cool too.
So great.
Perfect. Hey, did you one fact about that movie real quick before I hang up is in the beginning when they got Aerosmith playing and they're rolling in slow motion into the high school smoking their dope. If you notice, I forget what year exactly the movie was supposed to be taking place, but there's a Ford truck that's like 5 years older than that.
Doesn't it always blow things for you? Isn't that weird?
Yeah, good times. Hey, happy Friday,
Peace.
guys.
He actually just yelled good times.
Good
times seeing that truck, right? We've had some good times spotting trucks that don't belong in movies.
That song that they use at the end, that's just like the most...
Slow Ride?
No. Tuesdays.
Tuesday's Gone? Yeah.
That song is so great. It's used so well in that movie.
But it's also one of the great songs of all time, Phil.
When I was leaving college, I was moving out. It was my last day. I just packed up my car, turned on the radio, and that song had just started, and it was like driving.
You're kidding me.
And I was driving away from college, listening to that song. And
the keg party was just 60s were cool. God, didn't you hate the older sister in this?
Yeah, she was just the worst. And as an older sister who had a younger brother who was hanging around the same parties as me, I didn't really respect the way she behaved.
I didn't either.
You gotta look at it after your little dude.
Yeah, you gotta keep an eye out for him. And she wore her pants too tight around her crotch. I mean, it's just uncomfortable. Let the cunny breathe, honey. Let the cunny breathe.
You're gonna end up with an infection.
You are. It's going to be an infraction. It's going to be so bad. But by the way, the other girl that was with her is definitely cruising her. The one on the left, you know what I mean? That just, just kind of laid back lesbian.
Her best friend.
Yeah, her best friend who just kind of looks at everything that she does.
She's just like, we should just have a girls' night. That kind of friend.
Yeah, but never will she even come out and say it. You know what I mean? She'll just let it happen. Charles in Minneapolis. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, pretty good, man. I was thinking about Lost Boys. I thought that was a pretty killer soundtrack.
I loved that soundtrack.
You know
loved that soundtrack.
Well, there's the muscular sax player.
Nothing is better than that.
I still believe.
I still believe.
All right, we got to find that now.
40 days. That song is so good.
It's amazing.
And what other musician would ever be that ripped? Like, why are you that ripped? You're a saxophone player.
I actually read
that's a weird look that guy has.
I actually read a story about him. If you want to know the truth, and this happens a lot. He was a heroin addict, and then now just gets the juices going through lifting. You know who digs this band? Star, when she just comes running.
Star. Michael's great. I like Michael.
She's a good actress.
Oh, there he sees her. He sees Star for the first time.
She's so free. Look at her.
He doesn't know what it is about her. A little bit vampy, but he doesn't catch
half vampire. Here he is, all greased up. Too. Look, the sax player, just oiled up.
Somebody had to oil him before the show. That's somebody's job.
This song is gayer than a penis into another man's ass. It is the gayest thing that's ever happened. I still believe. Listen to that 80s keyboard. This was the last time I think the sax player ever took front and center of anything in history. But then there's also that other, like, Cry Little Sister song.
Love that song.
Yeah.
Cry Little Sister.
Yeah.
Thou shalt not. That song's so great. Coming up, like the shot coming up over the water, and you see like the festival, like the fairgrounds. There. It's great.
You gotta think to yourself, like, why hasn't Marilyn Manson ever covered that? Wouldn't he, like, if you would have Manson that up a little bit?
That's a pretty sexy song.
There's another version of this for this song, another video where he's playing live in concert, but every cutscene is him playing all the instruments on stage.
Who?
Of this Tim Capello guy doing "I Still Believe."
I've never seen it. I've never seen that at all.
If you go back there and just search on YouTube under him, there's a live concert video, and every cutscene, he's playing keyboards, he's playing saxophone,
He does it all.
he's dancing with the girls.
He must be a vampire to pull off that kind of move.
Let's see where we got this.
Which one is it, Eric? The beginning of the video says Jambi presents "I Still Believe." It's a live concert video. Yep, that's the one.
The beginning of the song is so good.
Yeah, it's great. Is that him dressing as a woman too? And then he's every person in the audience.
Can do it all. Tim Capello.
Do you think he actually said to people, "This is just the beginning of Capello Mania"? I mean, this is just the start, dude. It just picks up from here. Jay, Pennsylvania.
Hey, Ronnie B, what's the rumpus?
Hey, what's the rumpus, my friend?
Hey, hey, GB, how you doing?
Hey, what's up?
I just always get turned on to different versions or different eclectic songs with the Coen brothers. They always seem to do a great job of reinventing themselves and going in different directions. But I think that I was just on hold, and I was just thinking that I still think the greatest soundtrack from beginning to end, and is not going to get beat, is the Blues Brothers.
Well, yeah, the Blues Brothers is more of a musical. I don't know where that fits in.
Yeah.
Because that's not really a soundtrack.
Right, that's maybe a different category. Because the soundtrack should be like a mixtape.
Like, do you think of musicals as soundtracks? Like, is Grease a soundtrack to you, or is that just a straight musical?
I guess it's technically a soundtrack, but I would say, I enjoy the music from the musical. You know what I mean?
I think technically means it is one, though.
Yes. It is. It is a soundtrack. But I have a different feeling. I put that in a different category.
All right, so if we're going in that direction, Bugsy Malone is one of my all-time favorites.
Hedwig, for me.
Hedwig is amazing.
It's a real rock and roll album. If you replace that with a band, like if that was just their album, you'd be like, this band's great.
Well, look, here's the thing about
except for Sugar Daddy.
Hedwig.
And then you're like, it's my least favorite song.
Yeah, I don't know why you did it, but
everyone's got that song though.
Yeah, but if you looked at like that thing, he had to make an album. He had this short little runway to hit. It had to sound like it was made in late 1973, early 1974.
Yeah,
and he fucking landed it. Right, and the guy who did all the music is, I'm trying to think of his name. I had him in the show, and when I interviewed him, I remember thinking while I'm interviewing, I'm coming on a little too strong. I'm coming, you know what I mean?
You just felt like
I
you
was
were
so like intense to say, no, I want you to understand something. This is really great what you pulled off. And I see him like, yeah, thanks. Not Cameron Mitchell.
Trask.
Stephen Trask.
Yeah.
Stephen Trask did all the music for that, and it's
phenomenal. It's so good.
It's just genius.
It really reads like a great album.
This is Charlie.
Hello, how are you this morning?
Good, man.
Hey, I want to know how it is that you're able to be on another channel and this channel at the same time, because I just found you and Fez on the Indie channel, and here you are on the Opie channel at the same time. How do you do that?
Well, love. That's the first thing. You do it in love. You've got to be able to pull that off.
It gives you your inner strength, powers to create amazing things, and lightning speed.
Lightning speed has just got to do part of a lot of people are quick. I try to be sudden. Like, you know what I mean? I just think I'm training right now with something called Elvis's Karate Judo. It's just karate judo.
You're so good at that.
Yeah. I was doing so good at it, and then I spilled my milk. Hey, John, you're on the Bennington show.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, man.
You know, you got a lot of good callers, a lot of good suggestions, but the number one producer has been left out. Quentin Tarantino.
Well, we brought him up first line.
Okay, but just like real quick. For instance, in Kill Bill, right? Those cute little Asian chicks that go, woo, 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 woo,
yeah.
woo, you know, and then they go to like that hardcore, like death metal. Like, who can get some cute Asian chicks to really, you know, bang out a guitar and rock out, you know?
What are they, the 1, 2, 3...
Yeah, they've got something...
Some crazy name like the 1, 2, 3s.
And that song is a cover from like a really great early 60s song that they're doing. And I can't think of what the...
Aren't they the Crazy 88s or something like that?
5, 6, 7, 8. The 5, 6, 7, 8s.
The Crazy 88s are the gang that was running around. And then that also has a version of your girls, Bang Bang.
Love it. So great.
Yeah, Tarantino is probably the top for a guy picking, and that's because he's a vinyl head. That's because he likes just to listen to weird vinyl over and over. And Tarantino's the only guy I think who does this. He will do that. He'll use somebody else's soundtrack in his movie.
Yeah.
He'll go back and get a soundtrack from the past. Hey, have you ever seen the director's chair on El Rey?
No, I haven't.
It's great. It's kind of unmasked, but with directors, Robert Rodriguez sits down and he does an hour or more. He does 2 episodes with Tarantino. He does John Carpenter, the first one. They just sent me a poster. I've been promising all week I'm going to give this out. But check out this poster.
This. Oh, holy shit. That's awesome.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
That is so rad.
I said I would give it out to a listener, but they sent me a lot of their stuff. I was going to give this to your brother, too. It's like their big show, which is like Luchador. They do like a Luchador TV show.
So it's all like a interview?
No. They play grindhouse movies from the 70s and 60s.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I got to check that out.
Lucha Underground.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is awesome, man. This poster is so rad.
Of Francis Ford Coppola. So Coppola's sitting there talking about the conversation, talking about, the Godfather films and Apocalypse Now. It's really great.
I got to check that out.
That's another kind of great soundtrack. The one that he did, it's the S.E. Hinton films, not The Outsiders. It's
Rumblefish?
Rumblefish, yeah.
So
the drummer from The Police is doing the whole tracks. Really, really cool stuff.
Someone brought up the Coen brothers. That Oh Brother, Where Art Thou was just an incredible soundtrack, and then did better sales, I think, than the movie itself.
Oh, yeah, it was way bigger. And then did a giant tour.
Yeah.
There was a huge tour off of that.
And then that got me into a bunch of country and bluegrass artists that I wouldn't have heard otherwise. Like there's an incredible bluegrass artist who's one of the women who sings on it, Jillian Welsh, and I started listening to her because of that soundtrack.
What was her song in that?
Well, she does with the girl, she does the Siren song.
Go to sleep, little
She's
baby.
one of the 3 voices in that. And then I think she might have also done the song where it's like, in the highways, in the hedges.
Oh, yeah.
I think she did that one. She does a couple songs on that album. She's phenomenal. And I wouldn't have that wasn't really something that I normally would have delved into, and then it had me listening to a lot of bluegrass music after that.
Here's Josh wants to talk about the Coen Brothers.
Yeah, keeping in the vein of the Coen Brothers, I never cared about Western yodeling music until I saw Raising Arizona about 30 years ago.
I love the way they use that.
Perfect,
so great.
Perfect soundtrack, perfect movie, best movie. It's my favorite movie of all time. Best characters in a phenomenal.
I love the movie.
Is there any other movie where every line is a punchline?
No, it's just great.
I know you're opposed to the convenience stores, H.I., but the sun don't rise and shine on the corner grocery.
They come in funny shapes.
Not left rounds funny.
Rounds funny.
All right, what is the song that Holly Hunter is singing to the baby that's really...
So that's an old bluegrass song, and that song is like, hold on.
It's like about murder or something?
For I did murder that dear little girl whose name was Rose Connolly.
And it's a real song?
Yeah. I think it's called Rose Connolly.
Yeah.
And it's like an old country song. And she's singing it like a lullaby, which is totally eerie the way she sings it because it's a song about a guy murdering a girl.
Yeah, it's sung from his point of view.
Yeah.
You never hear, like, I'm the murderer.
And his father's crying as he's being hung from the scaffold. It's like a sad song about his own execution.
I had never heard the song before. And then you just started singing it like that. That was weird for me. But I'd never heard it anywhere else but her doing it.
Yeah, it's such a good song.
Hey, Michelle in Jersey.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hi. That previous caller stole my Tarantino thunder, but I was going to say that Reservoir Dogs to me is the absolute best soundtrack. I can pop that in anytime, and it will pump me up and get me going.
Super sound of the 70s.
It's so great how they use the radio.
Right.
Yeah.
The Stephen Wright introductions are the best.
And how strange to use him doing that. You know, the least radio voice ever.
Yeah, that soundtrack is great. Little Green Bag is on that one, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what else is also great is that the guys in the movie sit around arguing about the soundtrack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you'd never seen that before. You can write it from there, dude. I have actually saw this happen before. You know, like in the soundtrack when they're trying to bring up, like, hey, first time ever, I realized that she's the one who killed. You know what I mean? How they do that gimmick where they're just taking this pop song. So one time I'm working at this place, I'm doing an overnight shift, and the security guy comes in. And to me, like at the time, he was like 1,000,000 years old. So he must have been like in his 40s or 50s, and I'm like 17 or 18. I had never really hung out and just talked to somebody like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was like of a different generation. And I'll always remember this conversation the rest of my life. So he comes in, he's sitting there for a couple minutes, he's drinking a coffee, he's smoking a cigarette, and he goes, "Do you ever hear this this song, Kathy's Clown?" And I'm like, yeah, I have. And he goes, "You know, I just was driving in listening to it. And the guy who's singing this song, he's like a real asshole. You know what I mean? Like he's a dick. Like he's being literally treated like a clown by this bitch. But he's taking it. You know? He's allowing it to happen. And I'm trying not to laugh. And I'm like, yeah, that's the exact point of this song." He goes, "What a fucking moron this guy is."
Did you think of it right away when you heard the Madonna conversation? In
Right off the bat, I'm like, well, first of all, I always thought that the brilliant thing about that scene is I don't remember, and I remember I saw that movie in the theater with your Aunt Fezzi and your mom. Mm-hmm. It sounded like I just said your Aunt Fezzi, but your aunt was there too. So the funny thing about it is I had never seen people in a movie that the dialogue wasn't pushing the plot ahead. You know what I mean? And I was just talking about this with Ed Burns.
Yeah.
Like, it was a mind blower that these guys were just talking.
Yeah.
They weren't talking about the bank job. What they going to do with the loot?
So little you hear about that talk in that movie, and so much about just what it's like to be in the room with those guys having a conversation.
Just fellas being fellas.
Toby Wong.
Toby Chong.
Motherfucking Charlie Chan. I got Madonna's big dick coming in my left ear, Charlie Chan in my right.
You better give me that back or I'll shoot you. But it was just fellas being fellas, and I'd never seen that before. And that to me was way crazier than an ear being cut off.
Yeah.
You know? And now everybody tries to do it.
Yeah. It set tone there for a while, especially with the independent films after that.
Yeah, until all of a sudden everybody has to be a superhero to be in a film.
Right.
Although, and I always bust balls on superhero thing, but did you see that video up where Robert Downey Jr., I think it might be on the iBang by now, but he's giving a arm to a little kid that was born without an arm, and he shows up and they Iron Man it out together?
I can't watch something like that. I'm just gonna.
No, you gotta say it. You're gonna love him even more. And the kid looks like little East Side Dave, like 5-year-old East Side Dave.
So just gonna go down.
Look at him.
God, he does.
So this kid was born without an arm, and they're giving him an arm to practice with, and they give him like an Iron Man arm, and they have Iron Man give it to him.
Hey Alex, how are you? Pleasure to meet you. I have another bionics expert on hand, so I thought I'd drop by.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Nice bow tie, by the way.
Thanks.
How were your travels?
It's very good.
Well, I thought I'd bring one of my gauntlets and match it up with yours and see if everything's copacetic. You want to have a look?
Sure.
Ready?
Yep.
Great.
Each one looks the same.
He's got an
Actually,
Iron
I
Man
think yours
arm.
might be better than mine. What do you say we both try them on, do a progress report?
Okay.
You know who that is?
Iron Man.
What's his name?
Robert.
Great. He can't even look at him. That's Robert, Iron Man. Now look at him.
It's even cooler than I thought.
Look, it works.
I'm having a technical glitch. As you can see, my light isn't working. Half the time, I design one of these, it winds up breaking on me. But what I do is I keep working on it, kind of like you're working on it with Albert.
He keeps working and working until he gets it right.
Yeah, I think yours is still a little bit more right than mine because at least,
The lights work.
your light works. Yeah.
Look,
at
they're
that,
holding
man.
hands
It's a
with his new
marriage
arm.
of robotic technologies. Bang, nailed it. Love it.
Love that dude, man.
Hey.
Oh, Robert Downey Jr.?
So sweet. That was the sweetest.
Yeah. But, here's how far we live in the future. This kid just got an Iron Man arm.
That's incredible. That kid couldn't be any cuter.
No, he's adorable.
He wouldn't look him in the eye.
He wouldn't look him in the eye like it was Santa Claus.
Robert?
That's Iron Man. Robert.
It's Robert.
He was just like, wow, that's Iron Man, but let's keep our shit together here. Let's not lose it. But, that kid is just trying on, and the hand works. He can pick stuff up.
It's phenomenal.
It's crazy. Now, I remember when I was younger and a kid lost his arm, and they just had to tie off his sleeve.
Yeah,
Like, he would
that's
wear
all you
long
got.
sleeve, and then just somebody would tie the end of it for him. Like, here, this is what you do so no one looks at the fact that you're missing an arm.
That's all fixed up there.
That's
There
all
you
great
go.
for you. Let's go over to Laura. Hey, Laura.
Hello.
Yeah.
How are you?
Good.
Since you guys are talking movie soundtracks, and I know you're doing good ones, the worst one ever, Scarface.
No, I don't remember anything about Scarface.
Get
What-
out of here. Every time we watch that movie, because it's funny now, it wasn't then, but oh my God, you have to. Just find it. I swear you won't. My husband's somewhere laughing right now. The music's horrible.
I can't remember any music from that
come
movie.
on.
I know. Stop being angry about it. We're just trying to be friendly.
We're still your friends.
I think the dialogue was already bad.
I know.
No, music's worse.
All right, Debbie Harry is on there. That's not so awful.
Not bad.
Most of the other people I'm not familiar
Not
with.
sure. Well, now I'm gonna have to rewatch this movie and see what's going on with this soundtrack.
Thank you.
All right, peace. But in this, we were talking about Tarantino, like he had to have Stuck in the Middle with you, and he didn't have any money, and they were charging like $10,000, which would have been his whole soundtrack thing. He was like thinking about not even doing the film, like if he couldn't get the song.
I can't have
it was
this.
so important to him to have it.
Well, it's so great in that scene. It couldn't be any eerier. That song is perfect.
You know what's weird is like you go back and watch True Romance, and they don't use any Tarantino type music.
It's pretty bizarre. It changes the texture completely. It feels like his movie with the writing and the dialogue, but then
But there's songs in that thing I love.
Yeah, that score is very much based on, and I'm trying to think of the other movie. It's like the score is so similar to it.
I don't know. I'm lost.
I'm trying to remember. I know it's based on another score. Another, whatever, I'll think.
And I would murder that sweet little girl.
Rose Connolly.
Brian in Raleigh. Brian.
What's going on, Benningtons? The soundtrack to the movie Swingers is fantastic for a couple of reasons. First off, it's a great variety of music. But here's the thing: it's not all swing music. You get the Dean Martin, you get some Tony Bennett, but you also there's some Average White Band in there. You get some of the newer stuff, the Big Bad Voodoo Daddy stuff. It's really, and there's some George Jones in there. Roger
We're all
Miller.
familiar with it. We're all familiar with that little cul-de-sac, that little swing cul-de-sac of the 90s.
2-3 year time where swing was like a thing. I think swingers really helped that.
Oh,
helped
I think
it and hurt it.
Yeah.
It was like brought it up, and then I think
then all of a sudden there was like towns in like Akron and Orlando would have swing night.
Yeah,
we're doing swing night.
Swing lessons were like a thing for a minute. People wanted to learn how to dance like that.
We need to break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Bennington.
This is Bennington, Opie Radio, XM 103, Sirius 206.
The house band for the Bennington show this week, The Replacements. The Replacements. Also reminding people tonight on the Opie channel, 11 o'clock, and over on the Indie channel at 9 p.m. is Unmasked with Paul F. Tompkins, one of the best we've ever done. Actually, one of my favorite people of all time.
He's so super funny, and it's a great Unmasked. I was there for that one.
He's ridiculously funny, but also dresses like he's going to rob a bank in Gotham City. Just a great way of looking. Really a lot of style. Really, really funny guy, though. Scary funny.
Yeah. I saw him at the Bell House a few years ago, and I was crazy laughing. I was seeing white. I was like so silly that I had like a little adrenaline rush after the show.
It's the uncomfortable laughing, like you've hurt me through your laughter.
Yeah. Actually, even I had gone with a group of friends, and one of the guys who I was with just was I kept laughing, and then I would look and see him looking at me confused. Like, how could anyone be enjoying themselves as much as you're enjoying
He probably was thinking, are you tripping?
Yeah. I think he didn't believe that I was losing it the way I was. But that guy really cracks me up. He's super funny.
I've never liked laughing really, really hard.
I know
I've
you
never found it pleasant.
You don't like to laugh.
I don't like to laugh hard. I don't mind a giggle here and there, like
Sure, a little chuckle.
a little guffaw. But that kind of laughter, laughing like you're Eddie Ward, no, that's too much.
Anytime I've ever seen you get to that place, it almost like immediately goes to anger.
Yeah.
You're like, stop it, stop. Everyone stop. It's not funny. Stop. Because it's
Stop it. Let's get it together.
Well, it's a very vulnerable position to
It
be.
is.
You
It
feel
is.
you feel out of control of your body and mind, and you're doing things that you cannot.
You're not controlling your body or your mind. They're lost to you. But that's really funny that you came up with that. You just laughed till it's like white light. You know what I mean? Now, on the other hand, I like to make people laugh hard, but I think of it as tickling. It's fun to tickle someone, but who wants to be tickled?
No one wants to be tickled.
No.
But it is funny to force someone to laugh.
Yeah.
Like, got it. Got him.
Got that bastard. I got him, and I proved they're vulnerable. E-Rock, what are we plugging for you tonight? What are you doing?
Tonight I have Chris Elliott on the show.
Love Chris Elliott, one of my
Talking about
favorite
his,
people on the planet. Yeah.
Talking about his new show, Schitt's Creek, which is
Think it's going to
awesome.
make it?
It's doing one season. I hope it does another season because it's really well written. But I'm not sure just because it's a new network. That Pop TV.
Yeah, it is a weird network.
Yeah.
Pop Tarts.
Used to be the
And
TVI
just you and
channel.
Chris, no one else?
Chris, I'm talking to the creative team behind from Funko that are behind those figures that has every license and every movie and television show ever made now.
I don't know. I'm not familiar.
They're huge. They're all
I
over
never
the
collected
place.
things like that before.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. Tonight
What's Sam
at 7
doing? Do you know?
Sam, I'm not 100% sure.
I think he's doing an entire show dedicated to the wrestler, the referee Earl Hebner.
Wow.
So it's a salute to the life of Earl Hebner.
Not his brother?
Yeah. Well, his brother we didn't know he had till the end. Was that Dave Hebner?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Earl Hebner invented this, and then holding that.
Right.
You're like, you're too slow in that last one. You could have really done a quick 3 count. We are the sons of no one. Up on the iBank today is the Mike Buccetti files. Mike Buccetti is writing for the iBank. Doing a hell of a job. I believe he's got a big interview going on. Who's that with, A-Train?
Dave Hill.
Love Dave Hill.
Yeah.
Super funny dude. I've seen him a couple of times. He's awesome.
Also at the same place in Brooklyn?
I have seen him at the Bell House. So I'm somewhere in Manhattan too, but I can't remember where.
You're very Brooklyn.
I live there.
You and your brother are very Brooklyn. I am more old school Manhattan.
I'm Manhattanite.
We used to run the world. Now it's Brooklyn. Maybe I should move to Brooklyn.
Why not? Come on. Come on over. You're
There's
very
always
welcome.
a sad thing when the parents move to the kids. Like, we're going to move to Florida too then, I guess, since everybody's down there. You know what I mean? It's like it's always kind of sad. Like, everyone moved. I guess we'll move down here.
Why not?
Yeah.
I guess we'll just move.
I feel like if I would have went to Brooklyn first, then it would have been okay. I just don't want to be the last one to Brooklyn.
Well,
What,
you're
are you-
welcome anytime.
Are you just getting here now? We're all going to Queens.
We're headed over to Queens.
Ah,
And then the Bronx. And then that's it. Because there is no Staten Island.
there's no Shaolin.
I can't take a boat to work.
Rick, go ahead, Rick.
Hey, what's up, Ronnie? How you doing, buddy?
Well, I really don't want to discuss my personal life or feelings with you.
Oh, come on. I'm in Reno, man. Just talk.
All right, I'm doing okay. I'm doing fine.
Okay.
Thanks.
Hey,
I feel better now. You know, I'm opening up.
Well, I appreciate it, Ronnie.
I'm doing an Ask Me a Couple of Things on Reddit soon. It's not going to be Ask Me Anything. It's going to be Ask Me 2 things.
Some things.
Yeah.
Hey, the Replacements, had a lot of soundtrack songs on the 90s, and they had one on the Say Anything soundtrack, even though that's kind of an overplayed soundtrack. Within your
There's
reach,
no such thing as an overplayed soundtrack, I don't think. I hate when people get... You know what? I come from a generation who wants to hear Hotel California every single day of their lives.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
That and Barbara O'Reilly is all we want to hear.
And then back to Hotel California.
You know what would be like the worst thing in the world, like you know that you're nuts, if you lean over the turn up Hotel California on your car radio and go like this, oh, I love this song. Yeah, it's on all the time.
Shh, hold on.
Yeah.
Hotel California's on. Shh. I haven't heard this in 3 hours.
I like the Spanish version, though. Another soundtrack song. Did you see that these people are in a little bit of a beef, this photographer, for taking a picture of a baby that they had made a hammock out of the United States flag?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a pretty little picture. It's really a well-done picture. But then people were offended because the baby is laying in a flag.
Just stop it. Listen, anytime you make anything that's sacred to you, you're asking for someone to hurt you with it.
But I get that, burning the flag. But this is just putting a baby in it, like a little American baby.
He's not wearing it as a diaper. He's not wiping his ass with it. He's just...
That was the Larry Flint did that. He wore the flag as a diaper.
It's just, he's taking a little nap. Clearly he has a military daddy.
He does. He has a military daddy and a military mommy.
So, how are you going to judge this baby?
I judge that baby as being a traitor to the country by not obeying the rules of the flag. The rules of the flag is something that you think about in first and second grade quite a bit when they drum it into.
Fold it. You got to put it in the nice little corner like that.
Yeah.
It's got to go in the nice triangle.
When it was my day, you just got a rumpled up flag pushed in the corner of my elementary school. And they go like this. Who did this to the flag? And I went like this. A couple of the black kids. I think it was a couple of the black kids, I'm not sure. But you really take the flag thing seriously. Like, you're like, the only time to burn a flag is if it touches the ground.
Right.
And then we have to bury it or burn it.
That's the only time.
Yeah. A lot of times at a protest, when the police, I'm burning a flag, the police come over and I go, it's only because it touched the ground.
See, there you go.
And
That's
I'm positive.
I'm doing this in a respectful way.
Here's the weird thing about that.
Like a Viking funeral for this flag.
I don't get too mad if I see Americans doing the burning of the flag, because I'm like, oh, you're just trying to shock me. But it still pisses me off when I see like Iranians burning a flag.
Bothers you?
It bothers me. And when I see them punching a paper mache Obama or George Bush, that I'm like,
so
leave that paper mache George Bush alone.
Yeah, just I don't know. It doesn't bother me.
Did you get bothered when the British melted down the Liberty Bell and made it into a cannon?
I wouldn't like that. No.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that either.
I don't care for that. I think that's a little different.
Did you hate when the Planet of the Apes buried the Statue of Liberty?
I did hate that, but then it's only because I realized it was Earth all along.
Damn you! Damn you the hell!
There's a movie that I saw like many years after the ending had been spoiled for me, but I was just kind of like, well, I feel like I should watch this, even though I know where this is going. Yeah, watch it anyway.
Well, you know what always annoyed me about that ending? It didn't seem like Charlton Heston took any personal responsibility.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You damn human race that excludes only me. You're all responsible for this. You were nice to monkeys. You idiots.
It's kind of a cool shot, though.
It is an amazing shot. There was a shocking end to a movie with really long scenes. I brought up that thing today about Harper Lee, another book being, and it's a sequel book to her only book that she ever put out. Yeah, it's like the characters later.
Scout.
You see Scout, once Scout starts smoking. What in the Sam Hill are you doing?
Old Atticus.
I got a feeling Atticus doesn't make it from one to the other because he was like a late in life dad.
Yeah, he was actually.
But
such a great book.
That was a life-changing book for me as a kid because I think it was the first time. It was the first book that I ever read that I'm like, oh, I get why people love novels.
Yeah.
Before that, I read a lot of books like the Pistol Pete Maravich story, anything about Jackie Robinson,
Right, yeah.
I would read about Joe Namath or old Negro League baseball and try to do reports on it. And the teacher would always be like, oh, good, another report you're doing on Negro League baseball, huh? Monarchs this time? I don't know what it is about boys. They just love old statistics.
Yeah.
I'd be in front of the room. And then the next year, he shocked them all by batting .327 with 95 runs batted in. The end. To slam that shit down.
That's got to be an A.
Yeah. But I think that do you remember like the first novel that moved you, almost the book that changed your life, if you will?
I think for me, it was probably The Outsiders.
That's a good one.
And not only did reading, I think I read it twice, like started it over immediately because I was just so enthralled with the characters and I loved them so much. And not only that, but then finding out that Essie Hinton was a woman, and that was like everything to me for some reason. It was just like, I couldn't believe a woman wrote this story from the perspective of young men.
Right,
and I did not for a second doubt that it was written by somebody who had experienced these very same things.
Right.
And it really was so eye-opening to me. I remember being like, finding it out and being emotional about it, like tearing up and just being like, oh, it's a woman, is it?
Like me.
I'm a woman.
I'm a young woman myself, and now the world's filled with possibilities.
It really meant everything to me, and I love that book. I love that book so much. And it's still precious to me, like if I think about it.
I think she was actually a girl when she wrote it too. Like she was really, really young. And then she wrote like 5 of those books. Mm-hmm. All right, this is going to freak you out since you love that. So the other day I'm talking to your grandmother, and I forget what we're talking about, but we always get back into, the same shit. There's always like Old Chester. Do you remember? Your mom is, your grandmother is always like, do you remember when this happened and that? So she was like, do you remember your Aunt Miney and all this? I'm like, oh yeah, she was the older woman. She had a coal stove, and I used to go down, and there would be like literally coal in the basement. And she's like, yeah. Now, do you remember her husband, Hammond? And I'm like, I kind of think I might, but I was really young when he was younger. And she goes, oh yeah, Pony Boy. And I'm like, what? Why did you say that? And she goes, that's what they wrote on his casket. All the guys called him Pony Boy. And I'm going, like in The Outsiders? And she goes, what are you talking about, The Outsiders? I like Pony Boy, like Pony Boy Curtis. She's like, what?
Weird. Why
so you have an Uncle Pony Boy?
I have an Uncle Pony Boy.
Yeah.
The Pony Boy.
And here's the thing. You might even be him, come back, for all you know.
I know.
And that's why you love that book so much.
That's probably it. Old Pony Boy Curtis.
So that changed your life only because you thought women can
Yeah, but
type.
I mean, like, I first had the experience of reading the book, loving the characters, and loving the story. And it's written so simply and eloquently for a young person to absorb. It's like perfectly digestible for like a young reader.
Right.
Where it feels sophisticated enough. It's just enough danger. There's just enough, sexiness and enough sadness. It's just a great mix of youthful problems, which I was just too young for. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a little bit younger than they
everybody
were.
Everybody that loves teenage stories are preteens.
Yeah, exactly.
Like preteens love a movie about teenagers.
Yeah.
They'll love Mean Girls, where teenagers actually don't even see Mean Girls.
Yeah.
They're out doing shit.
Yeah.
But preteens are like, this is coming.
For me, like, I loved the movie Clueless, but that was because they were older and cooler, and I was like, that's what it's going to be like when I'm in high school. Like,
there's always something in front of you.
But yeah, I would have been, young. When I read that book, I would have been younger than high school age. And
I had the same feeling about On the Road.
Mhm.
And I remember reading about On the Road and having a thought as a young person who goes, because I remember like he would be like just so in love with jazz music, and then if he had this plate of beans, it would be like the best beans ever, and laying next to this girl would be important to him. And I remember like going, oh, okay, so I really want to appreciate things, you know what I mean? I want to appreciate moments, and I want to be able to discover beauty. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to say, hey, this simple thing is beautiful and precious.
So there's a little passage in that book that has always stuck out to me, and they have pulled off in some small town, and there's a farmer there, and like a farmer's daughter is just like kind of standing off in the distance, and he just has a love affair with her in an instant in his mind, just like looking at this like simple farm girl, and then that's it. We never talk about the farm girl again. It's just one moment where he's like, this girl could change my life, and now he's back in the car and he's moving on. But it was like he had this like incredibly like almost like holy moment, just like looking at this girl who, you know, of course, because this is the way it always goes, is like 14 or 15. And he's an adult man, you know. Yeah. But it's such a great passage, and I think it kind of sums up the whole feeling of the book. Is just very in the moment and very appreciating beauty, but everything is kind of thrown out after. You know, it's just like kind of all whipping by, and it's a great book.
It wasn't until years later I realized how many people I handed that book to, because years ago I used to give it to people who said they didn't read. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I go, okay, I got a book for you. And then, you know, let that. And some of the people held on to it for a long time. And other people bring it up as if I'm the only one that they ever handed it to. I don't know why I did. I must have done it like in my early 20s or something.
You didn't need that microphone, did you?
But have you ever gone back to a thing and then not liked it so much?
Like reread a book?
Because that happened to me. No, but I'm like, even the thought of it, like the electric Kool-Aid acid test, I loved when I was younger. And then as I got older, I'm like, what?
Yeah, the more you think.
Well, not only I watched a documentary about those guys, and I'm like, I wouldn't even like those guys. They were like fucking dude bros that were fucking dosing people.
Traveling like jackass kind of type.
Yeah, but jackass, but older and like less funny. You know? They were just really strange California guys or Oregon guys or wherever they were from. Just West Coast cold people. You know how people are so cold on the West Coast.
They're very cold.
Yeah. Like they're going like this. Mom died. The Californians. Some people hate that sketch so much.
It's a very polarizing sketch. I noticed that on the SNL 40, where if you were following along on Twitter, it was as extreme as, this is the funniest fucking thing that's ever happened, to, why is this on? This is so terrible. This is the worst sketch ever. And the next tweet being like, I love this sketch so much. It's very...
You know what? Twitter, anytime you watch SNL on Twitter, you will see that people make too big a deal about things. They act like sketches hurt them. Russ wrote Old Man in the Sea. I remember that, like, being at the age where you're going, okay, I can read Hemingway. Because it was always like, this is Hemingway. He got his gun, and then he went over and got his sleeping bag, you know, and you're like, I got this. I can read along with this.
I wish I could remember what the first Hemingway book I read was, but I have a memory of I was holding it, and I was over your parents' house, right? I'm at my grandparents' house. Yeah. And you're like, oh, you're reading, and I wish I could remember what the first one was, but I'm reading one of his books, and you said... You start to describe his writing exactly like you just said, right? So you're like, so simple. Everything is just like, each sentence is like five words. Like, you'll have to tell me what you think of it. I'm like, yeah, cool. So then 5 minutes later, my grandfather comes in. He's like, Hemingway, eh? And I was like, yeah, I'm just starting it. And he's like, boy, can that guy really drag on a sentence describing every little detail. And I just remember thinking like, which one of you is right? Because you're both very confident about this. But I was like, do they both know his writing and they just see it totally different? That's two different...
First of all, you never told me that. I love it, though. But that's every conversation I've ever had with my dad my entire life.
It was very eye-opening to your relationship.
This is funny. So I was talking to him last Sunday, and I was telling him that your brother was hanging out in England, and he goes, "What's he doing?" I go, "I think he's hit every museum in London," and he goes like this. The Wax Museum? I go, what? Why are you going to find a place that he obviously didn't go?
Like, that's not going to be a museum that he's going to go to. Not every museum, then, because not the Wax Museum.
I like to just give him, I like to give him enough to, tee off on me a little bit, I give him I think Obama's really turned the country around in the right way. Just enough to...
Just to get him going.
Get his blood going and up and going.
It's good for him.
Yeah. Because he calls Fox the news, and that always makes me laugh.
I was watching the news. Not really.
Hey, Dan, you're on the Bennington show.
Sound like $1 million, Ronnie B.
Hey.
Wondering, did you ever read a book back maybe in your youth called Go Ask Alice?
It's so weird that you say that because Liz Sets Fire wrote it at the same time. But yeah, I remember that book.
It should have been subtitled "Attempting to Scare All Teenagers Scared Straight," but that was a hell of a book. I don't know if you ever read it.
Not for me. I just wanted to get high after reading that. It was like
I didn't read that one.
It was like a down. Yeah, well, it was kind of written by a girl who grew up in the '60s. So kids who come at age in the '70s were reading it. But it was like, and I don't think the writer ever said who they were, so it probably wasn't a teenage girl who wrote it. It was probably an older...
It said right on the book, Ronnie, it was written by Anonymous.
Yeah, it was written by a man, probably a child psychologist. But basically, she was tripping and smoking pot, and, her whole life was out of control. Everything that I wanted... Like, yes, please. Chris. Go ahead, Chris. You're on Bennington.
Hey, I got a general question, guys. I never read poetry because I feel like songs have taken the place of poetry.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Well, you will sit and read poetry, Ron?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Like I feel like I get the content or the.
There's not a single songwriter who will tell you that he's writing poetry. As a matter of fact, a lot of songwriters write poetry on the side.
Yeah.
You don't feel like Dylan's writing poetry?
No.
Okay,
it feels like he's writing song lyrics.
Okay. I don't know how you would break down the need of needing a poem versus a novel, or not even needing, I don't know, whatever it fills inside of you. But I guess my question for you about novels is I don't get into them so much because I feel like film has taken so much of the place of
totally different experience.
It scratches a different itch,
Yeah.
I think. It's just
But
like
what are you
such a
guys getting out of a novel? Are you getting a high spot moment where, I read Fear and Loathing. That where the wave broke speech is just my favorite thing ever written anywhere.
Well, first of all, I don't know if anything could take you away like reading a novel. And I don't know if there's anything I admire more anywhere in the arts than somebody who's written a novel.
Yeah, it's
the most impressive marathon-inducing thing.
And perhaps that it's a situation where movies are more popular, but it can't take the place because it doesn't do the same thing. And you can say the same about movies. I was having a conversation a few years ago with a group of people who were convinced that video games were going to take over movies. And there won't be movies anymore. Everything will be an interactive experience. Maybe video games will get to the point where they become more popular and, your mom will be playing video games like that. I understand the idea. But you're not going to I don't watch a movie to be involved.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to stimulate a different part of your brain, and it's not going to be the same experience. And maybe interactive games will, flow into something else, and
they would have to, because as of right now, has anyone ever learned something from a game other than the skills it takes to move apart in a game the way you can from a book or a movie? I don't know if anything, you can push life away playing a video game, but it doesn't reinforce life, and it doesn't change the way you look at something.
And it's also just a different experience. It can be an enjoyable experience, but like, I don't know, don't you put on TV to get away from something else, and now you've like gone into this whole different world, and you can kind of like shut down, right? You can kind of shut down and like put your whole head into a movie or your whole head into a show. But with an interactive experience, you're involved. It's just a different thing. So for the same reason, I just don't think, I wouldn't say that movies replaced books in any way. It's just a different experience.
No, I don't even. First of all, his initial thing is, why would we read poetry when we have songs now? I mean, he may have been the craziest person I've ever heard of before.
I mean, songs are also not a new invention either. You know
I guarantee you that man has a woman down in the pit. You know what I mean? Or do me is probably what he's saying. Put the fucking dog in the basket.
Come here, precious, you little shit.
Precious, you little shit. That woman might be the greatest actor of all time. To come up with that, I'll break his leg or
so awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can have poetry and music at the same time. Music is not a newfangled thing that replaced poetry.
Why would we need painting now that we have
photography?
Yeah, that we have pictures. By the way, Madonna was in the building. Was it yesterday, the day before, with Howard Stern? Mm-hmm. And she used to date Basquiat, right?
He dated Madonna,
and he painted these pictures for her. When they broke up, he said, "Give me my paintings back." And then when she was sitting there, he painted them black over top of them. He painted what, for all we know, could be masterpieces black because Madonna pissed him off.
That's really incredible. That's hilarious. And seems very him.
It is very him, but it's so heartbreaking. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, in a way, it's like Madonna kind of blacked out art.
Thanks, Madonna. You ruined it for everyone else.
I'm with Jelly Bean now, so I'm sorry. Chris. Hey, Chris in Maine. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Ron. Good morning, you guys.
Good morning.
What can we do for you?
Oh, hold on. Are you there?
Yeah.
The horrible movie, great soundtrack, Valley Girl. Book You at Grendel.
Well, I wouldn't. First of all, I don't even think it's a horrible movie, but it is a pretty great soundtrack.
It's an amazing soundtrack, and the Plimsolls are used several times on that soundtrack. And there's a band who I learned from that movie, and then started listening to their music, and they're really cool.
You know who loves them?
Who's that?
Flathead.
I did know that.
Yeah.
I totally know that because I was listening to them once. And he was like, "What are you listening to?" And he was all like, "What? Why are you listening to the Plimsolls?" I was just a kid.
When you were a little girl?
Yeah, I was just a kid. And then we sat and talked the Plimsolls.
I think Flats is getting out of the hospital this week, but I don't. This is the weirdest thing. So he had to have a skin graft, right, on his foot, and they didn't take the skin off his ass. They blew it. They grew it in a petri dish.
What?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Flats is the future.
He's a bionic man.
He is somewhat of a cyborg, I guess. They've grown skin on the outside of his metal skeleton.
Now, did Robert Downey Jr. show up and give him his new skin?
That would be the loveliest thing ever. You go like this, Robert. No, they would never let Robert Downey Jr. near Flathead.
It's not going to be a good combination.
That would be awful. That would be bad for everybody but Flathead, who would still act like it all came out great. He's a very sweet man. He writes every day from the hospital. What do we got to plug? You got to listen to E-Rock later on. Tonight, 9 o'clock, right, E-Rock?
7 p.m. 7
p.m., but I'm saying 9 o'clock if you're in Nova Scotia.
Yes.
Or Newfoundland. with him and Chris. I think it's Chris Rock with you, right?
I wish it was Chris Rock. Yes, I have Chris Elliott on the show.
Chris Elliott is going to be there, and then also Elliott from ET is going to talk about what it was like.
That's going to be great.
Yeah, 3:00 today is going to be Sam. Sam's doing a big show.
What's that going to be about?
I believe it is a musical journey through wrestling theme songs.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Mr. Perfect was my favorite.
Over Demolition?
Yeah, over Demolition. I love that Mr. Perfect song.
How'd that go?
Da, da, da,
There it is. I do everything perfect, McMahon.
This just makes me want to spit my gum out and slap it. This is such a great move.
You just made Fez very proud. This whole thing, he was like, oh God, if we could do wrestling themes, I know what I want to do. Remember when Tom Petty, they had a wrestling theme?
Yeah.
With Bret Hart?
Making some noise.
Look at me, mama. I'm making some noise.
I know one little boy who that was his favorite song.
Of course it was. It was the only thing he had on his little iPod. And then tonight, I have Paul F. Tompkins Unmasked. It plays on Indie at 9:00 tonight. And then right here on the Opie channel at 11 p.m. tonight. All right. Jason Steele wrote book talk on #Bennington. My genitals are hardening. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I can't tell.
Depends if you're a boy or a girl.
Yeah.
If you're a girl, I'd be concerned.
Raise the board said I learned from Grand Theft Auto is spawning is like heaven, that life is less important because I'll be coming back after I die. So there are things you can learn.
Good point.
Yeah. All right, people are already writing in the Ronnie B quotes that I said to you about The Outsiders. That changed your life only because you found out that women can type. Sometimes I'm just...
I shared something nice with you.
No, Gail Bennington quotes Twitter act. Someone get on that. I don't even know what the Queen means by that. Let's see. Ready to destroy today thanks to my wingman. #Bennington. Jason Steele says #Bennington is my cocaine and coffee in the morning. It gets me through my day like a parent holding their child's hand across the road. I think that's nice.
That seems nice.
Gail laughed a little too hard at that black guys did it joke.
What? I didn't laugh. That wasn't me.
Eric called it Puppet Master Radio, #Bennington. Bumping the Replacements today is fucking badass, Ronnie B.
It was badass. That was your pick.
Yeah, that was my pick.
It was a good call.
Yeah. Nice. The Dire Maker says nice work by Gail turning the Ron Funches card on Ronnie. He did get me.
Right back at you.
Twiggy says you should look for the Grayson and Witcher version of Rose Connolly. It's probably the best. But that boy makes so many noises during the show. It's very difficult. Lauren Michelle is enjoying her weekly serving of Bennington, although you started all the trouble yesterday.
What was the trouble?
She made up the meme of Fezzy crying.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Seems like that's so tension. What was that Rose Connolly cover called?
Oh, he brought up the people who did it.
Oh.
You'll have to listen to this on replay to get it from me because I can't. I like that we have all the opening to it. It really makes it better.
Down
yeah. What's coming up next? What's the name of the show that's on next, Gail?
Accelerated.
Accelerated.
You're definitely going to check that out.
I don't know whether we made it this time. I sure hope we did.
I have my fingers crossed.
I have my fingers crossed too, but you never know. Accelerated isn't for everyone. So I guess we got to get ready to wrap this up.
You have another show to do today.
Well, not for another 2 hours. I got some time to go out shopping, you know? And I'm going to find the perfect pair of spring shoes.
You're already ready for the spring fashions, eh?
I believe they're made by Converse.
It's such a joke they start putting spring clothes out in the window. It's such a tease, and you're still all bundled up. It's still cold out.
But you know it's coming. I mean, you know?
I know, but...
They always say like this. They say March comes in like a lion and then leaves like a much nicer lion.
Right. Really nice lion.
Yeah. And then April is like a wet lion. And then June and May are like lions too. Mm-hmm. August is a hot, sweaty lion that smells in the subway.
But September lion... starting to cool down.
That's the back to school lion. That's the lion that's getting new notebooks and trapper keepers. We got anything else we need to plug today? I don't know whether we do. Listen to Sam's show at 3, E-Rock's show at 7. Listen to every single show.
Listen to all the shows.
Listen to every show that comes up every moment of the day.
And listen to that Ron and Fez show.
That Ron and Fez show. Digging that Ron and Fez show.
Love that song.
So that is it for us.
Yeah.
Gail, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
You got to stop in and do the Ron and Fez show sometime.
I would love to do that. We did it once before. We had a good time.
We did it once before. I didn't enjoy it too much, you know.
Well, we had fun.
Fez was glaring at you the whole time.
Fez was having troubles that day.
Oh, was it a bad Fez day?
No, it's just, remember that was when he was accosted on the street by a sassy gay couple.
Yeah, it's always something.
So he was pretty upset about that. But we all did have fun over it. Hopefully Fez did too.
No one hates gays as much as Fez. It's really, really ironic. All right, folks, so take care of yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We all hope you enjoy yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening.
You've been listening to Bennington, only on Opie Radio, XM 103, Sirius 206. You can listen to it again by going to Sirius XM On Demand.